I think some of our skill execution was poor. Some of our decisions we made, I thought some of our decisions we made with our handball at times, we almost handballed straight to the opposition, I reckon, on 3 or 4 occasions. And I think some of our kicking was below what we'd expect. There was certainly some pressure from them, but I think when we needed to execute, whether we needed to, take this simple option, I think we, one, chose a more difficult one, and two, made that next possession a tough ball for us to win. So I think our decision making, our kicking was poor today, really poor.
You can only go with what you've got. Was the loss of those 3 key players all in one hit too big a hole to cover?
Oh, we started the game well, so I'm not going to fall back on who wasn't there. It was the fact that the blokes who were there, and they started well. And probably the most disappointing thing of the whole game is when you start as well as we did. The third quarter we sort of hung in there. We didn't take opportunities. I think our opposition did. Even the third quarter, I think there were 3 late goals, all from the 22-minute mark onwards. Just as we got to within 2 points, they kicked 3 goals to finish the quarter. 20 points in front, where we needed to really grind out the rest of that quarter. We coughed up 3 goals, so that was disappointing. We gave away, I don't know whether it's 11 or 12 free kicks at the stoppage, which was disappointing. So we need to rectify that. We can't play anyone and give away 11 free kicks at stoppage like we did today. That was disappointing.
To what extent then was it you falling away as opposed to them getting back into it?
Oh, I think it was a bit of both. Yeah, I think that they applied some really good pressure to us, and our skills were put under the pump, and unfortunately we didn't execute them when the game was close, and the game needed to be won. Probably in that third quarter when we were both being challenged, they got out in front. Then we sort of pegged them back. We had some opportunities after that, but I think the last 3 goals in the third quarter to go 20 points down. Then I think they kicked the first couple in the last quarter, really made it difficult for us. But it was a different game from last week, where we were able to contribute for 4 quarters. This week we only contributed for 1 and bits and pieces of the next 3, and that was probably the disappointing thing, because we felt that coming to today's game on the back of some good form last week, and the way we played, that we should have really put on a better performance today. Our performance was below what it should be, and that's why you're talking about the 22 who played is more important than those guys who aren't playing. 22,
but only 2 on the bench from midway through the third quarter. That wouldn't help your ability to get back into it?
Yeah, probably. It probably didn't help, but again, if I look back at our execution of skills, the fact that there's 2 less has got nothing to do with the ability to hit a target, to lay a block, to probably finish a tackle. We didn't win enough turnovers from our tackles, winning the ball back, and where we turned the ball over, it was sort of mid-forward too often. They got some turnovers, from 50 to 80 out from their goals, and that really cost us. They got a couple of kicking goals where they went coast to coast, and our zone was probably a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too far up the ground. We got caught out the back a couple of times, so that was disappointing. We need to reset that and make sure that the positions that we take are a little bit more defensive rather than as aggressive as we were today.
What's the early assessment on Bale and Garland?
Bale is PCL, yeah. It's probably going to be probably 4 weeks. Garlo, we're not sure, because he did an ankle and came back on. He was hobbling around there, but he could put weight in his ankle before, so he's probably 24 to 48 hours. But I'd probably be saying it probably doesn't look too good at this stage, but with an ankle, he'll have to wait and see the next 48 hours.
And was Dunn reported?
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
Were there other injuries next?
No, just the normal bumps and bruises you get in the game, so I think they're the 2 main ones.
Did you get anyone back?
We've got some guys who have actually been in good form and playing the VFL, so there's a game on tomorrow, so I'll go and watch that game and see who plays well.
Of the best 22 guys, is there anyone?
I don't think so. Off the top of my head, I'd probably say no, I don't think so.
You said yesterday you didn't think the Jack stuff during the week would be a distraction. Are you still able to say that now, that it didn't affect them at all? in their
Oh,
preparation?
look, we didn't play well for 3 quarters, but we started the game well. So, look, once I mean, they're professional footballers. Once the siren goes and the umpire bounces the ball, you're into the game. You're not into anything else. So, I don't think it was a distraction to say that it was the reason why we didn't play well. No, like I said, we started well. So, it was our inability to execute under pressure, which was disappointing for 2.5 quarters of the last 3. And when we made the mistakes, when we turned the ball over, North Melbourne counter-attacked at times too easily from our A-grade turnovers we gave them, if you like. We gave them some really easy turnovers, and they made you pay, which most clubs are trying to create that. Unfortunately, we actually were the ones giving the ball back. But full credit to them, they played well.
So the situation in Mount, the injuries of Scully, McKenzie, Jomar, Jack suspended, Grimes, plus the 2 got hurt today, let's say they don't play. So your depth's getting down to... It's really... Is it a test of your depth, pretty much?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Certainly would be. No, it's a good call. That's why the guys who play tomorrow are going to be... It's going to be important for them to perform well, and still perform well, knowing that there's going to be a couple of positions available next week. That doesn't mean there's only going to be 2. I mean, I think we've got to evaluate the game and make sure that the guys who play next week are certainly playing better as a team next week than we did today.